You had more rushing yards than the University of Alabama this past weekend.
uh, I like, yeah. We should actually we should have made a graphic like My God a Podcast, more rushing yards than Alabama. Welcome to My God a Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I review Georgia's 28-7 win over the Alabama Crimson Tide in the SEC Championship. We talk about our experiences on Saturday and what stood out to us during the game. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned MyGottaPodcast.com to see our latest merch. And you can follow us on social media at MyGottaPodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress.
Just like we predicted, Jim.
Like an all-timer.
Like, totally. And I nailed my prediction.
I mean, I predicted we were going to win by 1 point.
In your defense, you were pretty accurate on our score.
I think you were even closer. Then you had like 27 points and we had 28. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
I think we undersold
Just
our
didn't anticipate. I didn't anticipate that the Alabama offense would not show up.
I mean, it was like anemic. It was I wasn't prepared for that. That looked like our defense looked like
It looked like 2022, 2021 defense.
yeah. Yeah. They did.
It- yeah. It was definitely it was definitely an all-time effort from everyone, top to bottom. Um, Kirby Smart outcoached Kalen DeBoer.
Mm,
I made the comments early on that Kalen DeBoer, like you could see in the close-up shots, like early on, like he had a furrowed brow, almost like when you're questioning like what's
mm,
going on, like you don't know, you don't have he didn't have any answers.
yeah.
Um, there were no answers from him. There was no answers from Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson's body language was uh very unpositive
Dude, night
for
night and day from
yeah.
his body language in Athens.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I almost said on the podcast that like Jam Miller being out could potentially be like a blowout situation for us because if they can't run the ball, they would be absolutely hosed. And that's exactly that's exactly how that panned out. I mean, Jim, congratulations. You had more rushing yards than the University of Alabama this past weekend.
uh I like, yeah. We should have made a graphic like My God a Podcast, more rushing yards than Alabama.
Let's make like a chat GPT banner or something like that.
Oh man. Yeah. Uh just incredible. Just incredible. Does that like the game, I don't know, like, okay. Alabama has been like the hump we couldn't get over. We thought Kirby had a Saban problem. Then it was like, does Kirby have an Alabama problem? I mean, like, for you, like, how much does this alleviate that? Like, I think back to like when we won in Indianapolis, and Fowler's call was like "Demons be gone," you know, Georgia wins or whatever it was like, and they continue to be an issue. Um, it feels like something changed on Saturday. I don't know if that's too much.
I don't know. I mean, I've been bantering with Bama fans all day long. It's almost like we joked about it that their game against us in September was their Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Um, like basically every game against us is a Super Bowl for whatever team we're playing, and that seems to be playing out in the social interactions that I'm seeing. Like you'll post something about Georgia, and then like a Bama fan will chime in like, "Congratulations on that third victory over Alabama. You're 3-12 or whatever
Yeah.
against Alabama," and it's just like at this point, I feel like that Alabama fans only care about beating Georgia. They don't care about winning national championships. They don't care about winning SEC championships. They only care about beating out Georgia. And it just so happens that, you know, when it matters, we have more wins over them than they have wins over us. Like, I guess congratulations on your 3-point victory in your Super Bowl back in September. That statistically you should have lost.
Right.
If you want to hang your hat on that, that's fine. But when the cards are down, we've got two national championships and three SEC championships post COVID. Um,
Yeah.
your coach that you guys hype up with the black hoodie and all that crap, um, he ain't got nothing to his name so far.
Mm. Yeah. There's definitely stuff. Somebody replied to something that I think I sent out from the podcast, and I just try to ignore it now. I could have responded. I think actually it was when 51 to 7 GATA had posted the picture. A coach sent it. I think 51 to 7 had commented on it. But anyways, of a black jersey at like the what do you call it, fanfare? I guess like there were like the jerseys of all the
Oh
teams,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
Georgia one's
yeah.
a black jersey, and some Bama fan got in there like, oh, you can wear Georgia, go ahead and wear black because it's your funeral, like bringing out like that old joke from whenever that was. It's like
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I guess DeBoer went to one in his black hoodie. I don't know. Anyways,
Agreed.
anyways, that's what I thought. I didn't tweet it back. I just stay out of it now.
Yeah, I'm just glad that he's lost in that stupid black hoodie twice now, so we can just dispense with any of the voodoo the voodoo magic that he's got with that. I mean,
Yeah.
completely shut down everything that they wanted to do from an offensive standpoint. Like the score, I think even in some of the post game analysis that I was watching, like if you watch the Skycast, which I highly recommend watching the Skycast view if you're wanting to see like X's and
Mm.
O's and things that you didn't see on the broadcast, like Cash Jones completely destroying Bray Hubbard.
Oh my gosh, that was wild. That was a heck of a block and a amazing play call by Bobo.
Yeah, on the Skycast view, you got a view thing. You could see all the different plays developing. See Bray Harbor get destroyed by Cash Jones if you're interested in such novelty. But in the post game analysis, I can't even remember who the guy was that was talking, but he basically said that Georgia wins 28-7, and it really wasn't as close as that scoreline shows.
Yeah,
It really did feel like it could have been a potential name your score game. I mean, I was sitting there thinking like, man, we need to hang half a hundred on them kind of thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
just pour it on because you know in the back of my mind I kept thinking like no lead is safe with these assholes. Sorry, Carter.
yeah. Dude, I mean, I felt the same way. I mean, when they scored and then we had to punt, so they had the ball down 14. I didn't like that very much. But thankfully Thorson with his incredible night pinned him deep and they turned it over on downs and then it was kind of over at that point. But I was the same way. Like, don't let up, keep it going. They honestly, like, they had a lot of empty yards. Like, if you look at Simpson's stats, they look decent, at least like yardage wise. I mean, I think he ended up throwing for 200 something yards. Um,
Hmm.
but they were pretty empty, I guess.
I mean, you factor in that. Let's see, there was a huge chunk play with Ryan Williams where he does his patented like spin move and gets 30 yards every single time.
Yeah, seriously.
Um, and then you had the trick play, which came at the end of the game, which was just absolute like first of all, it was annoying and frustrating, but then second of all, it was very delicious at the same time. It was like they were so desperate that they pulled that play out. They
Mm-hmm.
pulled the annexation of Cuba or whatever it's called. Um, but yeah, that was just absolute delicious desperation. And then the other one, the where the ref, there was another chunk play that they got where the ref got in the way of our guys, and most everybody is have been talking about how that was the MVP of the game, but like we should have tackled him like three or four times after that. So
Yeah.
if not for that, it might have been a shutout.
I mean, that drive, so that was that on the touchdown drive, it was extended by two 15-yard penalties. So that happened
That too.
twice.
That too. Yeah.
And then then there was the ref shield. And I will say great play by who was it? It was Bernard, right? I mean,
Yeah, Jeremy Bernard.
yeah, he did. I mean, he put a pretty good stiff arm on two guys, so I will give him credit for that. But I agree with you. We should have got to him. Is what it is. The The one play, I think the best play that Simpson made was an incomplete pass. I think it was already 28-7 at that point, but there was a point where we had him, but should have had him sacked, couldn't get home, and he kind of backyard football. It was like Bo Nix was back there again. He's like running around in circles, and then
Hmm.
he went up into the end zone, and I think one of our guys got his hand on it. I think KJ Bolden might have got his hand on it. Because on the broadcast initially it just looked like the Bama receiver just dropped it, but I think it got tipped slightly. But
Was this the one that Ryan Williams dropped in the end zone?
not so there was the one he dropped in the end zone where Ellis Robinson was on him, like over in the left. This
Yeah.
was like on the like close to the camera, like on the near side of the field in that corner.
Okay.
Simpson was just like running around in circles in the backfield, heaved one into the corner of the end zone, and it was almost caught.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. And it was like a low ball, if I remember correctly too. Yeah, he definitely is a good. I think he's a good player. Not having the run game was absolutely his kryptonite. And like I said, when you say that this game was a turning point, I hesitate to say that because there's still some really good and talented players. That said, I think I think that Jam Miller is the last of the Saban running backs
Mm.
that is left on this Alabama roster, and I have a feeling that that may be the that may be the, the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of like the viability of Kalen DeBoer in the SEC moving forward. Minus
Yeah.
3 rushing yards in the SEC championship game. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I don't care what team exists on planet Earth that in the history of SEC football, if you can't run the ball in the SEC, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I also think that Caden Proctor is the last great, you know, holdout of the Saban era offensive lineman,
Hmm.
as well. And yeah, dude, I don't know. Like if they can't replace those players with the same level of talent that Saban and all of his, staff was able to assemble, we might be looking at you know, we might be looking at the downgrade of the Alabama brand in general because um, it didn't feel like a Saban team. It didn't feel like the classic Alabama team. They were every bit of a wounded animal. And fortunately, our guys were able to put the kill shot on them.
Yeah, I mean, because that's been the thing, right? It's like even when those all those other things were true, we would shoot ourselves in the foot in the past. And I just
Protect
feel
the ball,
like
win the game.
protect the ball when the game was complete 100% true. We did that and we
They
made
didn't.
them, yeah, and we forced the turnovers. But I just feel like the mentality that we showed felt different than the way we played
Yes.
against these guys. Even when we beat them in 21, this still felt different. I feel like Kirby approached this game differently, and that could be off. I don't know, but that it felt that way. But I'm a fan
No,
watching
I
on TV.
I agree. I agree 100%. The team, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, felt nasty.
Yeah.
Everything about the team's attitude was nasty from the first whistle to the final whistle.
Did you watch all the post game stuff? Like the with the SEC Network cast was on the stage and interview with Roman Harper because
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to watch all that stuff. We were
so
in the midst of sports.
okay, so Roman Harper actually said that he spent time on both sidelines and that the Georgia sideline felt completely different than the Alabama sideline. That on the Georgia sideline, it was personal and they were just fired up and in it the entire game. And he said Alabama basically didn't wake up until they scored their touchdown and they were like, oh, now. And he was like, at that point, it was too late, you know? So I thought that was
Hmm.
interesting. And that's a
Yeah,
Bama guy. I mean, he played at Bama. So,
I think that there's something to be said about did they take their foot? Did they even like kind of like Georgia in the Georgia Tech game? Like we kind of got to a comfortable spot because we knew that we were gonna, we knew that we were gonna win the game, so we didn't want to like put too much. But I don't know. At a certain point, you're down 21-0 in the fourth quarter. I mean, I think I was sending you guys the screenshots. Like, I mean, effectively, I mean, from a statistical standpoint, this game was over in the second quarter. It was very obvious that this game was out of hand. I mean, if you really wanted to split some hairs, like you could say that we had a 98% win expectancy with 9 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter at 21 nothing.
Ugh, God. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, like 2017 JP cannot comprehend that level of domination
I mean,
of an Alabama team.
it. I mean, we basically did to them what we did to Arkansas in 2002.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and it all started with the block punt, and like that's something I was thinking about. I started thinking through to myself, like how many SEC championships we have blocked a kick in, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I was trying to go through it in my head. I didn't like look this up, but I'm pretty sure last year when we beat Texas is the only time we've won the SEC championship game and not blocked a kick of some sort. I know we blocked a punt against Arkansas. We blocked a punt against LSU in '05. 17 against Auburn. We blocked a field goal. Um,
What about
20,
02?
'02 we blocked a punt Arkansas. Like that was to get
Okay,
everything
okay.
going. Yeah, and then in 22 LSU we blocked the field goal that Chris Smith ran back for a touchdown. So man,
Right, right, right.
just like special teams, so huge in this game.
Kirby mentioned that before the game at game day, like sitting right next to
Yeah.
right next to Kalen DeBoer. It was like a special teams play is going to come down. Like there's always a special teams wrinkle.
I got to say, man, like the vibes were good pregame, like the vibes and like the omens type stuff. Like I went out and did my grocery shopping before the game, like to get all of our stuff ready. When I do that, like every year, SEC championship day, like I go get the stuff for the bean dip or whatever, and usually I'll go to the store and I'll run into like a guy in like a Bama hat, and like he gives me a look and I give him a look, and he's like, eh. And like this time, I had to go to two grocery stores to get all my stuff. I got a Go Dogs from someone at both. I got a Go Dogs from a guy in the parking lot at Publix. I had a Go Dogs from the barista at Lowe's Foods. It was fantastic. I saw no Bama fans, and I came home and I was like, "Omens." I think I texted you guys this. I was like, "Vibes are good."
Yeah,
um,
the vibes were good. I got lots of go dogs all throughout. Um,
I also have to
yeah,
comment. This is for John Michael D and the Little Stitious Club, and I know multiple people had reached out to us. I think Robert Wolf tagged me on Twitter as well. There was no wallpaper this week, so the school missed Wallpaper Wednesday. Wednesday was also signing day, so I think we were all saying they forgot. We did a little research and found that there was no wallpaper. Oh wait, there was a wallpaper when we played Alabama in 21 and in 23 in this game. So then we decided, hey, maybe it's a good thing with no wallpaper. What I did right before kickoff was what I went and looked up. There was no wallpaper last year either. So maybe that's a thing now. Like we don't do wallpaper Wednesday, SEC championship, SEC championship week. So this is only
confirm the graphics team
yeah,
our team's a little stitious.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So sorry, this is the kind of analysis that I do. This is how I break things down.
Hard hitting journalism here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I just imagine that Jim waking up and coming downstairs with his coffee. Man, we kicked their.
oh man, basically. But dude, how about like on the just as we predicted joke? I mean, A did not have blocked punt by Cole Spear on the bingo card, and then certainly did not have first touchdown scored by a pass to Roderick Robinson on the bingo card. Just amazing.
That's where I say like the top to bottom, this game was just utter domination because Mike Bobo was. I mean, he batted 1,000 in the red zone. Like
Yeah.
this was not a game for the Bobo haters. The stats are going to sit there and look like pedestrian in terms of just the numbers. I mean, ironically, Jeremy Bernard was the leading receiver in this game. Um, so, Zachariah Branch had five catches for 53 yards. And even Nate Frazier, like we outrushed them, but Nate Frazier only had 52 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Um, it, it's just crazy to me. And just looking at Alabama stats, they had 11 rushing yards, but obviously they had -3 net. Um,
Their gross was only 11. I did
uh,
actually didn't even.
Hill, the running back, had 11 yards
Oh,
rushing.
okay, got it, got it.
I don't have the team stats in front of me. Let me pivot to the
Okay,
team.
I actually just pulled it up. They gained only 27 yards rushing.
Yeah,
They gained 27 and lost 30. Mm,
yeah.
man, that's fantastic.
I admire them. They kept trying. Um,
I mean,
they only had 16 attempts. Like that's crazy. That all right. So let's talk about the makeup of the game and how it became what it was. So first off, like I was pregame, JP was crashing out because we lost the coin toss. Um, internally, I was like, "God." um, So, but we won the coin toss. We proceeded to go down. I can't remember what the play by play was there, Jim. But
it was, I would
we
say, I would call it like a 4 and out. Like we got a first down on the first play of the game, and then we went backwards and punted.
yeah. So okay, yeah, 4 plays, 13 yards, 3 minutes off the clock. We punt immediately. Like this did not spark joy.
No, did not.
Um, however, what did spark joy was the fact that Brett Thorson dropped one just inside the 20-yard line.
Yep.
And I said, okay, it's fine. Brett Thorson pinned him back. They're going to have to drive the field. They proceeded to go 3 and out. Then we proceeded to go 3 and out. And again, he dropped at the 20. I want to say he dropped it inside the 15, if I remember correctly. But then they ended up punting. And so, we had back to back punts. They had back to back punts. And then we finally scored a touchdown.
On their second punt was the one that we blocked, and then we scored.
Right. Because it was 4 plays, 21 yards.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but I mean, effectively what we were doing was that we were losing yards. We were not gaining like touchdowns and points, but what we were gaining was field position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we were net positive significantly in the field position battle early in this game. And the way that that manifested itself later is that uh we ended up netting like I want to say like 39 minutes we had the ball, and so it became effectively a game of keep away, which is why I say that the game could have been a name your score, but we didn't need it to be a name your score game because they were doing literally nothing with the ball, and so it just became a game of keep away.
Yeah. Completely agree. And I mean, they couldn't muster anything. I mean, the defense was pinning their ears back. Schumann's dialing up the pressure. It was working. Even when we didn't get a lick on Simpson, he was feeling the pressure. And then once we hit him, he ran that zone read and kept the ball and got absolutely blown up, I think, by Gabe Harris. And I mean, that set the tone on that play.
It did set the tone. I think that Ty Simpson did not want any part of the Georgia defense to the tune of, later in the game when he had like a little zone read and he had Quintavious, is that
I,
his name?
I think that's right. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, Quintavious Johnson
Num
was 33. Yeah,
Number 33. Yeah.
yeah,
He was ready and dialed up to lay a hit on Ty Simpson, and Ty Simpson just slid. Like didn't even try to like dive for
yeah.
extra yards, didn't try to like throw the ball away, just kneeled
My
basically.
dad texted me like a link to a tweet with the video of that, and he said Gunner would never.
Gunner would never. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like there were definitely a couple times that Gunner was running the ball, and I was like, golly, Gunner, like, can you please just like chill out? Like he
Yeah,
got smacked he got smacked around a couple of times.
he did.
And I think that that's part of that was part of the strategy. Like basically, like I think that he was instructed on multiple situations where take two looks, and if it's not there, like don't put the ball at risk and just scramble and get whatever you can, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um, there were definitely some situations like that where it was like, oh shoot, no one's open. Let me just get a few yards.
yeah, yep.
The one criticism that I will have is I really am I'm still puzzled by bringing in Chauncey Bowens to ice the game at the end, and I
Mm.
think that he ended up getting hurt, and I still don't know. I haven't seen any updates on that. That was definitely one frustrating component of the end of the game?
I have one. I have an update. I
Okay.
I I looked this up. So Graham Coffey went to or was on like Kirby's press conference, like I think he did like a playoff virtual thing today, and so he had posted his notes on Dog Central, which everybody go check that out. Um, but Kirby basically said he's fine. That it was he. If you watch the replay, Bowens got spun around and he landed on his back really hard. So basically,
Mm,
it was just that. It was the impact of landing on his back. His back started bothering him, and he said by the end of the game he was okay, or like by the end of the
okay.
night or whatever that he felt okay. So I was worried it was like his leg, like, like his ankle again or whatever had been wrong before, because like he had
Yeah.
that leg sleeve on, and I was like, oh no.
That's good because you definitely didn't want anything to you didn't want anybody to get hurt at the end of this game kind of thing.
Yeah, I definitely rage texted you about that, about why
Yeah.
is he in there. So I will
Why
admit that.
well, I mean that's a valid question. Like if
Yeah,
he was questionable all week long, like I assume that he didn't practice as much. Like I get wanting to give someone reps at the end of the game to like, maybe he's chomping at the bit and Kirby decided to reward him or something. I don't know. But like to me it just seemed like a flippant decision that was not needed. Like we were in no danger of losing the game when he came in. It was more so just a let's ice this game and get out of
yeah,
here.
yeah, it did. Yeah, it iced it, got us into victory formation.
A couple other nitpicky items. Gunnar Stockton nearly got Nate Frazier killed a couple of times. Um, one, I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, but we were all, I was rage texting you like, oh my God, he broke a rib.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Nate Frazier's dead. He's down. What
I'm
are we
ass-
gonna do?
I'm assuming he just had the wind knocked out of him on that play because he got up and was trying to stay in the game after that happened. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he definitely had something happen to him, but hopefully he's fine, long term. But yeah, lots of things I think that had been set up. Like I said, I think that Bobo was in his bag on so many levels. Um, you talked about it that we set up the first touchdown to Rod Robinson. We set that play up in the game versus Tech,
Yeah,
which I thought was incredibly astute from your perspective. So hats off to you, Jim. Um, the touchdown to Zachariah Branch, I believe, to ice the game, if I remember correctly, but the touchdown to Zachariah Branch was a complete setup as well because Bray Hubbard completely crashed on Cash Jones on that third down play because it's just like a play that we've run that play all season long. So everybody bitching and moaning about why are we running screen pass to Cash Jones on third down? Like why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Then all of a sudden, when it matters in a game that matters against an opponent that really matters to everyone,
yeah,
uh, Bobo drew up an absolute knife through the heart of Alabama with a screen pass fake to Cash Jones that ended up going to Zachariah Branch, who, to his credit, played it perfectly. He set it up like he was going to block, and he didn't, and caught the pass and ran it in for a score.
he
So,
also acted like he was gonna run backwards and then cut upfield. Incredible move to like break somebody's ankle and then go in. Also, I gotta commend Cash Jones on his acting job.
yes,
I mean, he was like Jamie Tart out there, give me the ball, and in
yeah.
Ted
Look at
Lasso,
me.
like,
I'm right here.
like,
Look at me.
like that's all I can think of. I was like, oh my gosh, we were in the Ted Lasso play. um, so it was a great job, and I think someone had pointed out like the way he jumped, it kind of made it look like it was an overthrow, And I think Bray Hubbard kind of looked back, and then when Branch takes off and Cash just leveled Bray Hubbard's. Sorry, Hunter. That was pretty sweet. Hey, that was something we talked about. Figure out a way to get a block on Bray Hubbard in this game, and we did it.
Yeah, yeah, that was amazing.
And hey, the
Yeah,
unofficial official with his touchdown, he scored a touchdown. He Dylan Bell had a good game. He played really well. They're talking about him a lot on the broadcast too.
he did have a good game. Um, no payday. It was a no payday game.
Yeah, didn't need him. Just 4 for 4 on extra points. It's a great game.
Yeah, great game for him. Um, yeah, I people are talking about it. Like you get healthy and get hot at the right moment. and I feel like that Georgia is that team right now. Um,
Yeah.
that team that showed up in Atlanta, if that team shows up plus Chauncey Bowens, I don't think there's a team in the country that's going to beat these guys. And that's
Yeah.
under the umbrella of Tolliver. Holy cow,
Yeah.
dude. Like he played completely out of his shoes replacing Drew Bobo. Like I almost got to the like did Drew Bobo just lose his starting job? Like what's going on?
Yeah, he delivered. He definitely delivered. Next man up, and he filled the shoes. It was impressive. It was impressive for sure.
Next man up, uh Nate Frazier, heck of a job running 13 carries. An anemic number of yards, and the yards per rush for the team was 3.4. But those were very well run plays, I guess is what I'll say about
Uh,
that.
And I think, we kind of framed the preview episode as what has changed since the first time we played. And I want to call out two players there. Starting with who you were just talking about with Nate Frazier. I mean, it was a big turning point in that first game when he fumbled the ball.
Hmm.
And I mean, I know we've joked in some games where like you'll see him running and he puts two hands on the ball. He's like, I'm not gonna let this one go. And so I love it for him that he played so well in this game. I mean, he had a huge game against them, and that's a major bounce back. And the other one that we had talked about heading in on the other side of the ball is Ellis Robinson. I mean, holy
Hmm.
cow, we have seen him grow up this season. He is playing on a completely different level now than he was at the beginning of the year. Um, he and it's not just coverage; like it's also run support. I think on their first third down, they tried some kind of end around sweep thing, and he snuffed it out and absolutely leveled the guy. So heck of a job for Ellis Robinson. Great game. And then I don't know. I guess there's something about Dalen Everett and SEC championship games and getting interceptions. So that's pretty
Yeah,
sweet too.
dude. Dalen Everett, Ja'Cory Thomas,
Yeah,
dude. He like he replaced Aguero.
yeah.
And I think Aguero has lost his starting job for the rest of the season.
Well, and then
Um,
Dinkins was playing. Like we've got all these
Dinkins,
guys coming in. It's like holy cow! Like we have the memo. You are allowed to coach your players up and have them develop during a season. You know to where they can play at the end of the year. So everyone's roster has injuries all over the place, and we've got our freshmen and sophomores coming in and stepping in and making an impact.
100%. I think that someone messaged out like the makeup of this team right now is underclassmen, largely
Yeah,
underclassmen,
yeah,
especially on the defensive side. It is scary what that team could potentially look like in the coming years. Um, with the level of talent that we have and the guys that are executing at such a high level that just feel like they're catching their stride. Um, yeah, dude. You talk about a no-name defense, like this is the epitome of a no-name defense, with the exception of the backfield because you've got Dalen Everett and you've got
like KJ Bolden.
KJ, oh yeah, KJ Bolden and Ellis Robinson. I think that both of them, I think between the two of them had one reception allowed on at least six targets. I think KJ had, and then Ellis had like 4 or 5 targets. Like, and there was one reception between the two of them.
Hmm.
I mean, you're talking
Yeah,
about completely eliminating an entire facet of the game when you've got team guys that are playing at that level. Not to mention the fact that the defensive line and the linebacking core is like we've got the return of the reincarnation of Roquan Smith going on right now with the way that our linebackers are running around and flying to the ball. We've got gang tackling going on. I mean, every component of the no-name defense that we have come to love about UGA, none of them are completely dominating on the stat lines. Like we don't have that Roquan Swift or no, or Nolan Smith or Nakobe Dean type guys, but all the ones that are there are definitely playing at a high level.
yeah. I mean that. I When you were talking through that, all I could see in my head was the play where Simpson threw to their tight end to get a first down, and CJ Allen just put his helmet in the guy's chest and he dropped it. I was like, ah, chef's kiss. I mean, yeah.
There were a couple of plays like that, and I'll shout out Davin Bellamy if you're not following him. I can't remember what his little videos. He has a name for his videos, like Class or something like that. Um, but anyway, you know, he does the film breakdowns, and he puts it in from the perspective of a player. And there were multiple plays where you had guys that were engaging, players were engaging in the play, and the teammate came in to clean up.
Mm,
Whether it be Chris Cole and Quintavious Johnson going at an offensive tackle where the offensive tackle is engaged with one of them, but then tries to stop the other, and the other one keeps going. It's like the way that he described it was like it's kind of like a layup, a passing layup situation where I pass to you, I go around the defender, you pass to me, and then I toss it up to you for an alley-oop dunk
mm,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Um, in soccer, they call it tiki taka. That's like, you know, dink and dunk or however you want to describe it. That's kind of what I saw from a lot of this. Like, you know, there may be a guy out wide that was, I think one of the examples that he gave was um, a pass out wide, and one of our guys was tackling, and then, you know, CJ Allen comes and cleans up. You know,
Yeah.
you get a hit on the end, I get a hit. It's just an assist, basically, like the gang tackling, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Team meeting is
Team
Davin's
meeting,
thing.
that's what he
Yeah.
calls it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Team meeting.
I couldn't remember. I looked it up. Well,
Yeah, I knew it was something.
I'll tell you, man, when I knew you're talking about when you kind of know it's over, you look at the statistics, right? We're like at 9 minutes when we scored to go up 21 to nothing. If you look at the ESPN thing, what was it, 98% or whatever? Right before we scored, when I realized, oh my gosh, Bubba was trying to scheme up a touchdown pass for Taylor Taylor so that he can redeem himself. And man, he was open. He would have had a shot. Gunner was thrown it to him. Unfortunately, it was tipped. But I was like, holy cow, like we're scheming up feel good plays here. This is incredible. Like Bubba was in his bag. Um,
He was that play was amazing. Like he would have
yeah,
walked in.
yeah, it was going to be an easy touchdown. I was getting overly excited about that, and Ella was watching with us and she didn't understand, so I explained it to her. I was like, you see, he dropped a touchdown in the first game and then he got hurt and he hasn't really been playing and he's back, and so they like were trying to get him a touchdown like against Alabama, and then Ella like got emotional. She's like, oh, that's so cool.
I made the joke that this was Redemption Saturday.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the week, like Nate Frazier, like I think again it was probably a situation where a Bama fan started getting chippy in Twitter, and I just had to say like this is going to be the Nate Frazier redemption game. Book it,
Mm,
and sure enough, it kind of was.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely, we talked before the game about does SEC championship matter or not. Sure is fun to win them. I'll say that. It was pretty sweet.
It doesn't suck to win. I was marked safe from hearing Roll Tide for the next month or so. Um, yeah. The sad thing is that I thought that we beat them enough to where we weren't going to be to where we weren't going to play them, but or they were going to be eliminated from the CFP. But sure enough, man, what a bunch of the last couple of days here, Jim, have been just absolutely wild. Um, I don't know. I think college football has kind of jumped the shark in many ways.
Yeah. Um, I I think even the I think I saw this. I was watching um it was Notre Dame's AD was talking to Dan Patrick. I know I watched that. I feel like I didn't get this quote from that. Somebody was saying that, if it was just four teams this year, it would be pretty easy. And it's like, man, I agree there. I don't know. I think 12 never made sense, and I think it's showing that right now. I think 16 would be easier. I'm not saying to go to 16. I think if they had just gone to 8, 8 this year is very easy. It's pretty clear cut. Frankly, anyone below 6, I don't think has a huge argument this year. Like it kind of like whatever, like put whoever in, I guess. But I don't know. That's my take of it. I think either the Tuesday show should go away with the week to week rankings. It won't because they can advertise for it on ESPN.
Mhm.
Or I would like to believe that the committee learned something on the. They should have just ranked Miami ahead of Notre Dame weeks ago. Um, we had the easiest data point in the world that they beat them on the field, and we keep saying with this whole. I think that's the big talking point of the expanded playoff is let's settle it on the field. Well, if they already settled it on the field, what are we doing? I don't know. So I feel like that whole that all that drama could have been saved weeks ago.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I don't that are leaving a really, really, really bitter taste in my mouth with how things have transpired. Number one, Miami moving up one spot without playing a game
Mm-hmm.
just just reeks of I don't know, reeks of corruption in my opinion. Because the ACC didn't want to they didn't want to let they didn't want the ACC to get left out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the doomsday scenario happened that we were
Yeah,
the chaotic scenario happened, Duke won and yeah, whatever.
I honestly I don't have a huge issue with what I mean. I would have put in Miami in and over Notre Dame. I just think they should have done it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, not this week.
You
So
like I don't necessarily disagree, but for you to allow them, all right, so the precedent that was set is the number one and number two teams. You're telling me that a one-loss non-champion Big Ten team is ranked higher than a
right.
one-loss SEC champion? That to me is one of the more dangerous precedents that was set in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you allow a team to jump another team when neither of those teams played, that is also another dangerous precedent to set because nothing changed about what happened. Like, if
Yeah,
you wanted to make the political argument that we're going to rank them ahead of XYZ team because, that's just how we want it. That's just how we're going to do these things now, I guess. I don't know. Like, rank them ahead of that team so that nothing nefarious, so that the optics look better, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think they should have done it. I mean, because their explanation, the explanation was, well, BYU lost so badly to the same team again that we dropped them, and after we dropped them, Miami and Notre Dame were sitting next to each other. And then we said, you know what? They played each other. We should flip them. That was basically the explanation for how the mechanics of it, which again, you could have done that weeks ago. And I think they should have. So I'm hopeful. I'm going to say that in Kirby terms that they will learn from that. I don't know that they will. And where you're talking about precedent, honestly, I'm not sure that precedent really matters. I feel like they rank it every week and they come to it every week uniquely. And so I'm not really sure. I mean, I think Georgia should be number two. I think that it is wild that you can have a conference championship, the SEC champion is not ranked higher than a non-champion of any other conference. I think is wrong. I don't think they should have done that. I think Georgia should be number two. Um, and again, like back to the joke of did the SEC championship matter? Neither team moved in either direction. We were three and stayed three. Bama was nine and stayed nine, and I think
And
that's
frankly, they should have
weird.
moved down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you move down Ohio State and don't move down Alabama?
Right, right,
Like,
right. Yeah,
again, that's another precedent that just reeks of corruption, in my opinion.
I'm
Like,
not sure that it's corruption. I think it's more we're making it up as we go along.
I mean, are you saying that I'm giving them too much credit?
I think that yeah. Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
So if they had been moved to, if Alabama had been moved to 10, so that would have set up, either way, that would have set up a rematch for Alabama. So you move them to 10. So where does that push everyone else? Does that,
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what would have happened if that was the case. Then Notre Dame would have stayed because you would have had Alabama in between Miami and Notre Dame, so Notre Dame would have been at nine based on their explanation.
I think that that would have been a much better, I think that that would have been a much better result, in my opinion.
That's actually what I thought they were going to do. I think I texted you that. I expected Alabama to drop to. I My prediction was Georgia 2, Alabama 10, and Notre Dame would stay at 9. Um, I was kind of throwing up in my mouth about that because I thought we were going to get the winner of A&M and Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. Um,
Yeah.
so, I mean, what do you think about I mean, the bracket in general, I guess,
So the bracket in
otherwise?
general is okay. I think that the two things that stick out to me is JMU and Tulane. Like they stick out like a sore thumb when you have teams like Notre Dame and Texas who
Hmm.
are talking about their worthiness of playing. And it's really hard for me to accept that JMU is in the CFP and a team like Notre Dame and Texas are sitting at home.
Yeah.
Um, Vanderbilt even. Um,
Yeah.
I just look at that. I just look at the makeup of some of the schedules of some of these teams. Like I don't even know. I mean, shoot, JMU just hired Billy Napier, who was fired from the University of Florida because he was so bad. Like what how do you get fired up in terms of like the CFP? Like all of a sudden he wakes up and he's a part of a CFP team.
I mean, and with this, that someone made that great line that Billy Napier, his school made it to the CFP before he did, or something like that. The other thing is, we are with this scenario. We're in that one where there are three teams in the playoff who are do not have the coach or will not, I guess. So I guess with JMU and Tulane, both of the coaches have taken other jobs and are staying for the playoff, but they're both will be gone. And then obviously with Ole Miss, you got Lane is gone. I did see a great joke, and I can't give credit because I forgot who it was, but it was Tulane versus no Lane, um, in that 6-11 matchup. I thought that was pretty
Okay, let's just run through this real quick. And you tell me, Jim, if this makes any sense at all.
good. Okay.
JMU
Mm-hmm.
has played Weber State. They lost to Louisville.
Mm-hmm. They've got that in common with Miami.
They played Liberty. They played Georgia Southern. They played Georgia State. They played Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. Old Dominion, Texas State. They played Marshall, barely won against Marshall. Um, they played App State, Washington State, and Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
And Troy. Sorry, they played Troy.
That was in the Sun Belt championship game.
Compare that schedule to literally anybody in the like that was on the bubble that didn't make the playoff. Like to me that
Yeah.
just seems really egregious. And then this is going to get even worse next year because apparently it's come to light that some memorandum of understanding was signed with Notre Dame that if they finish ranked number 12 at the end of the season, that they're guaranteed to get into the playoff, which is just wild to me. Again, the college football has jumped the shark this week.
So in that scenario, like, so if that was in effect, I'm just stating this to make sure that I understand this correctly because I think I do. So if that were in effect right now, that means that Miami would have been out, right? That
Correct.
Okay. So basically, the two kind of funky rules are: one, the five highest ranked conference champions are in, and if Notre Dame is in the top 12, they're in. So those are the two kind of automatic things. I do think, and I saw someone there was an article in the Athletic over the weekend about how you can avoid some of these things. I do think all these conferences have gotten so big with conference expansion. I mean, in the SEC, we had a four-way tie at first. There were four teams that went 7-1. You had to go through all the tiebreakers to determine that it was Alabama and Georgia. So in the SEC, I would say it worked out okay, right? Like you've got two premier teams. The ACC had a huge log jam at second place, and when you went through all their tiebreakers, you ended up with Duke in there. I don't know if they need to look. I don't know how the ACC's tiebreakers work, um, but it feels like tweak how the scheduling balance is. I mean, like, obviously no one's questioning that Miami is better. I mean, if Miami had ended up in the ACC championship game and won it, we wouldn't have this problem. Also, if I know we were kind of pulling for the doomsday, like if Virginia had hung on, then Notre Dame would be in. I think probably.
Sure.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. I just think that this is a situation where, okay, congratulations, Indiana, you won the Big Ten. Your reward is that you get to play either Alabama or Oklahoma.
Uh, I will say
And
that.
and Ohio State's reward for losing the game is that they get to play either Miami or Texas A&M, which probably are some of the most fraudulent major teams on this bracket. And then you've got Oregon sitting there that they get to play JMU, and they're playing potentially Texas Tech in the next round. Like, I feel like that, and then Georgia, we either get a rematch with Ole Miss without their coach, or we get to play Tulane. Like, I feel like Indiana got screwed.
Well, I think in last year, I think Oregon got screwed, right? Because Oregon ended up with Ohio State in the second round after their bye. I will say this though. When that happened, they made the change. They got rid of the you had to win your conference to get a bye, right? They had to change that. Let me tell you what the bracket would be this year if we still had last year's rules. Okay?
Okay.
So you'd have we actually would have moved up to 2 because you have to be a conference champion to be in the top 4. So it'd be Indiana 1, Georgia 2, Texas Tech 3. Tulane would have been the 4 seed. And so this is where it gets crazy. So Tulane would have an automatic bye to the quarterfinal. Tulane would get the winner of number 5 Ohio State versus number 12 James Madison. So that is correct, John. Ohio State's path, if we still had last year's format, would have been they would have to just beat JMU and Tulane to make it to the semifinals if we still had last year's format. So just be thankful that they did change that, even after I was kind of thinking in my head, like, man, like, did we overreact to that last year? How's it always going to happen? And oh my gosh, I'm so glad they did that. Think of how outraged we would be. Ohio State lost the Big Ten championship, and all they have to do is beat JMU and Tulane to make it to the semifinals. Like that would have
And
been
and,
horrible.
and they get an on-campus home game.
And they would have gotten an on-campus home game.
I
Also,
think that is
we would be getting the winner of Ole Miss and Alabama, by the way, in the old format. So just be thankful that that went away.
fair enough. What I'd like to see go away next is get rid of the neutral site second round
I think
games.
they should
Like,
flip it. I think the
yeah.
opening round should be at both sites, and then if you got a bye, only those teams get the home game.
Yeah,
That's what I think you should do.
the reward for winning and doing well in your season, it should be an extra home game.
Yep, yep, yep.
I
Get
don't know.
get off my lawn. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the way you fix it is you contract to 8, but what do I know? I know you can't do that now.
I mean,
And we've
honestly, like, there's only 4 teams. There's only 4 teams that are worthy of this entire thing, in my opinion. You've got Indiana, you've got Ohio State, you've got Georgia, and I guess like the fourth, like I could say Texas Tech or Oregon. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
probably. I mean, I guess for posterity, you've got to put Texas Tech in there, but those are the only teams that really deserve to be here.
I don't disagree. And that if you take the current rankings and apply it to the 14 format, that's what it'd be. It would be Georgia, Ohio State in a semifinal, and Indiana, Texas Tech in the other. So, what was wrong with that? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it would have been a lot more fun, and we would have had teams like Notre Dame not taking their football and going home, which is like and then we wouldn't have conferences fining their teams for declining their bowl invitations, which just seems wild to me.
How do you not want to
God
go to the Pop
bless,
Tart Bowl? The Pop Tart Bowl is the best bowl.
God bless Clark Lee.
Oh man, yeah, seriously.
Basically saying that I only get so many times with these guys. Like, I want to play every game that we can. Like, hmm,
And he didn't
God bless him.
whine. He didn't whine and complain. He said this is no one's fault. He said he said it's on us. Like we didn't do enough to get in. I mean, breath of fresh air. Absolutely breath of fresh air. And you look at I've seen a lot of people talk about this. You look at how we approached that Orange Bowl versus how Florida State approached that Orange Bowl, and we just went down there and took care of business. And look at where we are right now, and look at where Florida State is.
Yep, agreed. I think it'll be interesting to see. Like, I hope that Notre Dame actually like puts some teeth behind their threat with the ACC and starts to back away from their uh, loose alignment with the ACC. Um, Frankly, I think that they should just join the Big Ten, but that's just me.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, just because it just popped in my head, I don't want to forget. Quick coaches over unders check. You got me this week, and we are separated by 3 picks in the year. So you went 6-1 this week, JP. Well done. I went 5-2. You're 51-49. I'm 54-46. And then on the pick'ems, we're actually only one game apart in the pick'em. I went 2-1 this week. You went 1-2. I'm 37-20. You're 36-21. So coming down to the wire across the board. Shout out Coach Drill. Thank you for bantering with us during the game, and thank you for doing this for us every week. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Well, now we get
Mm.
to see if we can buck the trend from last year of seeing if all these guys that get a month off from football can win one.
Yeah. Yep. I I think the where I was running through how the bracket would have been laid out with last year's format, I think the format change will lead to that. I would be highly surprised if all four bye week teams lost this year, like last year. So
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what we'll do as far as like so quick housekeeping, John. I don't know what we'll do. I mean, obviously we'll preview the Sugar Bowl before we get there. Um,
is there going to be a bowl pick'ems
I was gonna say, do we need
episode?
like a maybe we should do a bowl pick'em episode at some point before the next games.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can do something so we can at least pick the playoff games.
I know we've had some content discussions, so I'm sure we'll have something.
Okay, okay, we'll plan that. Because I didn't know if we wanted to. We'll table that. No need to. We're too far out. No need to pick the first round games or anything.
Right, right. So when does bowl season actually kick off now?
Bowls or like the playoff. So the
I
first
mean,
round games,
all of the above.
the first round playoff games begin next, like not this Friday, but next Friday. I think that's the
Okay.
19th. So that Alabama Oklahoma is like Friday night, little Friday night lights in Norman, and then the other
Hmm.
games are spread out across Saturday. That's all that I
Okay.
know.
So not too much of a downtime, but when does
Yeah.
the first bowl game go off? When do the degenerates get to watch like the ReliaQuest Bowl on Wednesday night or something like that?
Hey, the ReliaQuest Bowl is somewhat respectable. That's the old Outback Bowl, by the way. When I saw that,
Sorry, the Birmingham Bowl, whatever it is,
okay,
where Shreveport,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Music City Bowl.
don't throw the Pop Tarts Bowl in there because I think the Pop Tarts Bowl is awesome.
I
Dude,
think
Notre
that
Dame BYU would have been a great game. I mean, I guess now it's Georgia Tech.
that would have been a good game.
So now we get Georgia Tech BYU instead. Thanks Notre Dame. I found it. I have gone to a trusty website, fbschedules.com.
December the 14th.
I've got the Cricket Celebration Bowl is in. Oh wait, here we go. So that's in Atlanta. That's South Carolina State Prairie View A&M. 8 p.m. Saturday, December 13th. The Bucked Up LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
Amazing.
Hold on. I will now tell you my favorite bowl name. That one was close. Now I can't find it. The Snoop Dogg. Oh, there's a full name. I just see it listed here as the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. I believe the full name is the Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop Arizona Bowl. I think is the full name. Incredible name.
I'm looking at some of them.
Yeah, we can do the both pick 'em. Let me leave you with one fun fact on Kirby and Georgia in rematches because we had talked about Kirby being 3-0 in the same in season rematch games. So shout out to Mallory Reeds. I found this from her on Twitter. She said Kirby Smart has now coached 4 in season rematches at Georgia. He's 4-0 in the second meeting, and his defense has allowed exactly one offensive touchdown in each of those games. So that's Auburn 17, Bama 21, Texas 24, and Bama 25.
He's say that again?
Only allowed one offensive touchdown in each of those games.
Across in each game he allowed one offensive touchdown.
One
Okay.
touchdown per
Okay.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, wait a second.
Yeah. And it's not on average, it's just exactly one in each game.
What I hear you saying is that Kirby's dialed in on keeping it personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I took that personal. I will say that there were a lot. So Alabama came into our house and broke our streak. We broke a lot of streaks for Alabama as well.
Mm.
We broke Alabama's 17. They had a 17 game Atlanta win streak that came to an end.
Oh, that's right.
They
Yeah, okay.
they had a 4 in a row against Georgia in Atlanta that came to an end.
Mm.
Um, yeah, uh, they broke some streaks for us, but we broke some streaks for them. Additionally, Jim, I don't know if you know this or not, but we also moved into second place all time in SEC championships. We are now tied with Florida
Oh,
for most
I,
SEC championships.
yeah, yeah. I saw that somewhere. Yeah, that's
We're
pretty
chipping
sweet.
away. We're chipping away at Alabama because they haven't
Yep.
won any. But they have their regular season Super Bowl games that they talk about, but they
Hmm.
have not won a whole lot of anything since COVID.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I guess since 21 when
Hmm.
they beat us in the SEC championship. But
Yeah, they've got two SEC titles, but no nationals.
yeah. I gotta say, I was more the success baby meme than I was Ben Affleck meme on Saturday.
There you go. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, Jim, it's great to be back-to-back SEC champions. If you're gonna, just when we thought we were out, they put us back in. If we're gonna be in, you might as well win it. And we won it. We did the dang thing. We're firing on all cylinders, and I'm really excited to see what this team can put together over the next couple of games here. And I say that with emphasis. We have a couple of games left.
Love it.
Until next time, go dogs.
Go dogs.